Have you ever thought that high protein consumption might be linked to diabetes? Let's challenge some common misconceptions. It's time to unravel the protein myth. We've all heard it before. Protein is an essential nutrient, and you can never get too much of it. This belief is ingrained in our collective psyche. We're encouraged to load up on protein to build muscle, lose weight, and achieve optimal health. But what if this prevailing wisdom is in fact a misconception? Enter Dr. Garth Davis, a renowned physician and author of the groundbreaking book Proteinaholic. Now, Dr. Davis isn't your typical doctor. He's a trailblazer who's not afraid to challenge the status quo. In Proteinaholic, he presents a counter-argument that shakes the very foundation of our protein obsession. His hypothesis? We're consuming far too much protein, and it's leading to health problems, including the rise of diabetes. But wait a minute, you might say. Isn't diabetes caused by consuming too much sugar? Well, that's part of the story, but it's not the whole story. Dr. Davis's research suggests that our high-protein diets, particularly those rich in animal protein, could be a significant contributor to the diabetes epidemic. Dr. Davis delves into the science behind his claims, examining the links between high-protein consumption and health issues. He explores how excessive protein intake can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to diabetes. He also addresses the role of animal protein in promoting inflammation, another risk factor for the disease. And it's not just about diabetes. Dr. Davis's research points to a broader range of health issues tied to high protein consumption, including heart disease and cancer. It seems that our protein obsession might be doing us more harm than good. Shocked? Let's dive deeper into Dr. Davis's research. Scene script. Dr. Davis presents compelling evidence linking meat consumption to diabetes. Let's explore. In Proteinaholic, Dr. Davis delves into a wealth of studies that show a strong correlation between high meat consumption and an increased risk of diabetes. One such study, conducted over 2 decades, found that individuals who consumed the most red meat had a staggering 50% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Dr. Davis explains that high levels of animal protein, which is a significant component of meat, can lead to insulin resistance. This is a condition where our body's cells become less responsive to the hormone insulin, which is responsible for regulating our blood sugar levels. When you consume high levels of animal protein, your body responds by producing more insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance and eventually diabetes. But how does this happen? Well, animal protein triggers an inflammatory response in our bodies. This inflammation can damage our cells and make them less responsive to insulin. Additionally, animal protein can also increase our levels of IGF-1, a growth hormone that has been linked to an increased risk of diabetes and other diseases. It's also worth noting that meat, particularly processed meat, is often high in saturated fats. These fats can further exacerbate insulin resistance by increasing the levels of harmful LDL cholesterol in our bodies. LDL cholesterol can clog our blood vessels, making it harder for insulin to reach our cells. What about white meat, like chicken and fish? While these meats are often seen as healthier alternatives to red meat, they can also contribute to insulin resistance when consumed in large amounts. They still contain high levels of animal protein, which can trigger the same inflammatory response as red meat. Dr. Davis's research doesn't just highlight the risks, it also offers a solution. By reducing our meat consumption and embracing a plant-based diet, we can significantly lower our risk of developing diabetes. So it turns out it's not just sugar that makes us sweet, meat plays a significant role too. But don't despair, there's a solution at hand. It's time to go green. As we delve into the wisdom of Dr. Garth Davis, we find a compelling proposal, a plant-based diet. This isn't merely a fad or a trend, it's a lifestyle change grounded in scientific research and first-hand experience. Dr. Davis advocates this diet as an effective way to reduce protein overload and manage diabetes. Let's break it down. A plant-based diet is abundant in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. It's a diet that celebrates variety in color, freshness, and vitality. These are foods that are naturally low in protein, high in fiber, and packed with essential nutrients. It's a stark contrast to the meat-heavy diets that often lead to protein overload and in turn diabetes. But how does a plant-based diet help manage diabetes? It's simple. High-fiber foods slow down the absorption of sugars into your bloodstream, preventing those dangerous spikes in blood sugar levels. Moreover, the abundance of antioxidants in plant-based foods fights inflammation, a key contributor to insulin resistance. Additionally, adopting a plant-based diet doesn't mean saying goodbye to delicious meals. Quite the contrary. You'll discover a world of flavors and textures that you might have overlooked in your quest for protein. From hearty lentil stews to refreshing fruit salads, going green opens up a culinary landscape that is as delightful as it is nourishing. Of course, transitioning to a plant-based diet may seem daunting at first. It's a significant shift after all. But remember, small steps can lead to big changes. Start by incorporating more vegetables into your meals. Opt for whole grains over refined ones, and gradually reduce your meat consumption. Before you know it, you'll be reaping the benefits of a plant-based lifestyle. So it's time we rethink our relationship with food. It's time we embrace the power of plants. Because as Dr. Davis puts it, health is not about the weight you lose, but about the life you gain. And what better way to gain life than through the vitality and vibrancy of a plant-based diet? So the answer to our health woes might just lie in our humble greens. But what about our protein needs? Can plants alone suffice? This is a question that echoes in the minds of many when considering a shift towards a plant-based diet. Dr. Garth Davis, in his groundbreaking book, Proteinaholic, addresses this concern head-on and offers a refreshing perspective. He assures us that plants can indeed provide all the protein we need. Yes, you heard it right. Our leafy greens, our colorful fruits, and our hearty whole grains are not just sides on our plates, they are protein powerhouses. Now let's consider this. The World Health Organization recommends that men and women obtain 5 to 15% of their calories from protein. And guess what? Most plant foods contain more than 15% protein. So if you're eating a varied diet full of different fruits, vegetables, and grains, you're likely meeting, if not exceeding, your protein needs. It's also important to note that not all proteins are created equal. The protein you get from plants is packaged along with fiber, antioxidants, and a myriad of other nutrients. On the other hand, animal proteins come with baggage, like saturated fats and cholesterol, which can negatively impact our health. Dr. Davis also dispels the myth of complete and incomplete proteins. He explains that all plant foods contain all the essential amino acids, just in different proportions. So, as long as you are consuming a variety of plant foods, you're getting a complete protein profile. The obsession with protein, especially animal protein, is a product of clever marketing and deep-seated misconceptions. It's time to break free from this fixation. Our bodies need a balanced diet to function optimally, not just an overload of one nutrient. In conclusion, the protein question is not about quantity but about quality, and a plant-based diet ticks all the right boxes. It offers high-quality protein, along with a plethora of other essential nutrients, making it a superior choice for health and well-being. So, it's time to rethink our protein obsession. Let's focus on balance, variety, and whole foods, and remember, plants have protein too. Isn't it time we reevaluate our dietary choices for a healthier future? We've covered a lot of ground today, unraveling the protein myth, connecting the dots between meat consumption and diabetes, and shedding light on the plant-based solution. We've learned from Dr. Garth Davis's enlightening book, Proteinaholic, that our obsession with protein, particularly animal protein, is not only unnecessary, but potentially harmful. The evidence suggests that a high-protein diet, especially one rich in red and processed meats, is a contributing factor to the prevalence of diabetes and other health conditions. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is that we have the power to change our nutritional destiny. By shifting our focus from animal proteins to plant-based proteins, we can create a healthier future for ourselves and our planet. Legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds are all excellent sources of protein that also provide a host of other health benefits, including fiber, vitamins, and minerals, without the negative health impacts associated with meat consumption. In fact, adopting a plant-based diet doesn't just help prevent diabetes, but also supports overall well-being. It promotes heart health, aids in weight management, and can even improve mood and energy levels. It's not about deprivation, but about abundance. An abundance of fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes that nourish our bodies and our minds. But don't take our word for it. Try it for yourself. Start small, perhaps with a meatless Monday, or by swapping out one animal protein for a plant-based one each day. Every step, no matter how small, is a step towards better health. Remember, change is a journey, not a destination, and every journey begins with a single step. So, why not take that first step today? If you found this information helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to set your notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, here's to your health.